Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Hello.
We are here to cover the penultimate episode of season 18 of The Bachelorette. That would be episode 9. It's Fantasy Suites week, Brian.
Yeah, real fantasy.
Historically, if you've followed us so far and back in our old multiverse iteration, we're not a big fan of Fantasy Suite Week. This week really is like where a lot of the conversations and a lot of the no duh things come out, and these people get really upset about stuff and about like the whole process where they should have been upset about the entire time. So this year it was a little more tame than it is normal this year. This was just Nate needing a fireworks show, signalizing that Michelle was spending the evening, let's say, with another man.
Him and her got it on. Woo!
To finally realize that she's actually dating other people.
Yeah, I think you put it the best way there. Just like they should know this by now, but I think it's the idea of like, oh shit, she's gonna have sex with somebody else. That's when it really the light bulb turns on that. Oh, this is a big deal.
Oh boy, this sticks. And it'll bring up a relative debate that we'll get to just in a minute here. We're not going to go crazy on the details of the dates. We'll go over what their dates were, but none of them were really good. The boat one was okay. I think the boat one was the best one of all.
I think so too.
Zip lining, and what was the other one? Oh, horseback riding.
Yeah, pass.
It got dangerously close. The horses are going to start working their way into the Reality Guys rules soon. I'm getting sick of the horseback riding. It's getting really close.
Yeah, dude, you can fall off and die.
There's a whole lot going on with the horses. I don't even want to know. Bros to foes. That's kind of the big message besides obviously the elimination this week. And it was nice to hear them vocalize this. Obviously, the three of you are dating or going to try to marry the same woman. You shouldn't be friends.
Right. Exactly. There's
no supporting each other. That has also been a very disingenuous part of the Bachelor franchise that we've noticed over the first couple seasons of us watching. But this had to be the first time where I remember at least them vocalizing since we've been watching. It's like, yeah, no, we can't really actually be friends. We're all trying to date the same woman. It was just a really refreshing thing to hear.
Yeah, because it's just like it makes it more realistic that these guys are actually having legit emotions that happen in a normal relationship.
The other main kind of highlight I want to talk to, and then we'll run through some salient details, but I kind of want to highlight some of the main things off the top. Something you and I were texting about. It's just outrageous that they make these dudes stew and then sit with the guys when they come back from the overnight date in the morning, when it means they were obviously more than likely sleeping with whoever the bachelor or bachelorette is. It's a dirty move, dude.
Yeah, because they just sit there. The guy like Brandon comes back, he's like, I had such a good time. And it's like, I don't know, like, ooh, I saw her naked. And it's like, you haven't. And then Nate will be like, not yet.
Also, let's start with that. Let's get to Brendan because there is some things. But so the first date did go to Brandon. Stupid horseback riding in the jungle. I mean, this is my thing with this guy. We've talked about it. He just seems too earnest. Like he literally said, this is a day I'll never forget before they even went to the dinner or the suite. Like what? Horseback riding? You're never going to go. You can go to the carnival. Freaking horseback riding. Exactly. Yes. Come on, dude. Like he's just so over the top. He's been saying her full name, like her first, middle, and last name for like 3 weeks now. And like, that's like something like your mother does. You know what I mean? It's just,
yeah, nah, I haven't been feeling this dude for a while.
I mean, yeah, listen, we seem like a nice guy. His family seems nice. It does look like he might get done dirty a little bit in the preview. Not to spoil things, but it looks like his dad might do him dirty in the preview, saying that he doesn't think he's going to be actually ready for it.
Yeah, but again, I don't know. Like that edit makes me think it's going to be Nate.
I mean, the whole thing with Nate has just been like, obviously he's the one that's taking it almost the most realistically. Like he's just developing feelings in a normal rate and maybe not vocalizing it because again, they've talked about his family, but we'll get to Nate. Really the only other thing for Brandon, like we said, the fireworks, He does spend the night in the fantasy suite. Just to jump ahead, all three men do get to spend their time in the fantasy suite. So nice.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah.
So before last season, where Katie didn't go with the guy who made the weird faces, I don't remember his name. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, where she didn't go up to the fantasy suite with him. Yeah. Oh,
Who
God.
besides him? Do they not go? Or is it like 50 more 75 25?
I would say like probably, and people could comment here that would know more, but every time I've seen it, it's more than likely that they all go. Now, just say, for example, like Peter's season, like Pilot Pete, he took all three to the fantasy suites per se, but the one girl, Madison, is like a known like virgin, big time Christian. So like, he didn't hook up with her.
Gotcha.
Very little do you see them say no. I don't always know if it's implied that like they're having sex. They really imply it recently, like they're showing them in the bed and stuff together. But yeah, no, the answer to your question, I do think it's a pretty high success rate. You got to remember, man, like it's a game show for love. And if you think you're a good banger, it may help your case.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're always banging.
Oh, I don't think they're always banging. That's definitely not the case, but I just have a hard time believing. I don't know. I just have a hard time believing. Like, I'm pretty sure Brendan did.
I don't know, man. Like, if you had, I don't know. I guess
he just seems so giddy about it.
I'm trying to limit my speech here, but like in past experiences with myself, you would think that there would be more like they look too put together.
It's funny you said that. I was thinking about that. I'm like, are they making them walk in like walk of shame style? But I do think they probably let them shower, makeup, and then they present.
And then
them.
like
but
have a food fight in the bed.
If this was like F Boy Island, they would definitely make them do a walk of shame.
But you know what? And I respect that a lot more. To me,
I do too.
More realistic. So I don't know.
It's like when you used to see like old seasons of The Real World and they would always come home in the cabs.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Or they had to call a cab for a girl or call a cab for the guy. Like,
or yeah, Jersey Shore did that all the time.
Cabs, yeah. Yo, let me call you a cab.
Yeah, you get him out of here at like 3 a.m.
Second date. So I do need to address something here. It's pretty crazy, Brian. We've got to the second to last episode week of this season, and I kind of want to make an apology to our listeners here. I'm really sorry that I didn't notice that we had a total serial killer creepo as one of the contestants, because there's this guy Joe, and I'm gonna tell you about Joe. Joe's just a freaking former college athlete, owns a real estate business, seems to have a good relationship with his parents. He's also from the same hometown as the Bachelorette. Yuck, creep. Red flag warning, everybody. Everyone knows I'm being facetious here. I have sour apples, R.I.P. Rodney, because my pick was Joe. And we're just going to say it now. She doesn't pick Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Minneapolis Joe is too boring for Minneapolis Michelle. It's not convenient for Michelle that he could pick up the dry cleaning on the way home from work. No. Yeah. No, it's not cool. That's not cool. Maybe like their high schools really hate each other.
The rivalry is that deep.
Or has she been playing the long game because of the Tinder ghosting? And she's finally like, I thought she was going to pull the DMs out or something at the rose ceremony.
I'll tell you what, if they do make a comment about that at the reunion, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, he don't deserve that. He really grew on me. I mean, I picked him because I thought he was a safe bet just based off the bio, just in the earlier in the season. What I really liked was his conversation he did have today. And we've talked about this before, how he was a college athlete, got hurt, and was supposed to obviously have a shot to be like really good and maybe go pro. But he talked about like being able to like adjust and like not losing himself after he lost his like game, and that's a huge thing. Like a lot of especially high school, college athletes, burnouts or injuries, whatever, half of them end up being like drug addicts or like not in like healthy relationships because their identity is so tied up in the game. So it was really cool, and I just thought it was like a really real person message that you don't see too often on the show.
No, I think he's the most like put together dude by far out of those three. Like to me, if I would be like that guy has his life together, it seems like. And
Yeah,
I
I'd like
feel
to
like we
actually talk to that dude. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like
Just like
I
a
feel like
real life.
there's less risk, I think, with him.
He
If we're gonna
does.
like look at it
He
that
is
way.
like Kawhi Leonard, though.
I mean, sure,
He is like,
he's not
huh,
like
huh, huh.
yeah, but I mean, the guy has a job. The guy is already talking about saving. He lives close to you. Like he's a good looking guy. He's
Killing it.
into the he can he's into the things that you're into. Like, I'm sorry, I don't see what the
Their kid could be like the Minnesota Miracle Man of
yeah,
basketball.
exactly. I don't know. But you know what? I'm not Michelle.
Not Michelle. We are not Michelle. We are just podcast hosts. But
That's right.
something that I did enjoy was the Nate and Brandon. I mean, yeah, the Nate and Brandon back and forth about is it better to go first or last?
Yeah.
AKA, they're basically saying is it better to hook up with her first or last? In your opinion, just in general, taking the hooking up out of it or even part of it, do you think it's for these fantasy suites? Do you think first or last makes any difference, advantage, disadvantage?
I don't know, man. There's no I feel like first probably has the least amount of negativity because if she's like you're going first, like you're setting the tone. Like if you set the tone really well, you could sweep. But if you suck and then the other two behind you do that just better than you, and she was on the fence, I don't know.
I honestly want to
Relationship,
know.
sex reasons you don't want to go.
Dude, I'm like literally as you're talking there, something popped in my thing. So I wanted to know if there's any kind of like correlation in the history if
Ooh,
someone's
like
done the
stats?
math. So apparently the first is the worst.
Oh no, just to advance or to win?
I think this is to win, but
Okay.
again, you have to advance to win, obviously.
Right.
It certainly matters, but last isn't necessarily the money spot either. Whereas first is usually a throwaway for the producers, last carries the episode's narrative. The last spot is generally the only one where we hear from both the contestant and the bachelorette after about how it went. I mean,
Right.
now that's a little different on this week. Winning monkey in the middle. Wow. So let's see. So they're saying that the first is by far the worst, and it's a little close. That like second may technically be the best, but the third person is who they usually will focus the episode on. I feel like there was a lot of Brandon this episode.
No, too much Brandon. Too
All
much
Brandon.
Brandon. That's why
I
I thought
have
he
a
was gonna go.
feeling, dude. I don't know about you. Is she just looking for any like she's just begging Nate to win, like steal this thing, basically? Because Brandon's like a sure thing for her, but she seems like she's kind of edging for the almost. I don't think Nate's like a bad boy, but it
I
seems
don't
like.
think he is.
But I just think that like he definitely is a little bit more emotionally unavailable compared to Brandon. I mean, Brandon's like a puppy dog right now.
Yeah, he's like he's infatuated. He's like too all in for me.
That's what I'm saying. Is he gonna seem too eager to her? And I'm not saying, and again, it's really dumb thing to say, but we just know how these relationships, how these shows work. It just seemed like Brandon was like spilling his hearts out the entire date and talking about future and this and that. And then you go to like the date with Nate, and we're skipping Joe, obviously, because he gets eliminated. But like Nate barely said anything. Like I'm telling you, if you really go back and watch it again, like even just their conversations, you kind of just like tells you, oh, I'm into you. And it doesn't say a ton. And she's like dragging the conversation out of this dude. At least that's the impression I got. And to me, that
really
seems like she's the pursuer in that relationship. And will she pursue it to get him to propose? Or we see her crying on the beach for the preview.
Yep.
What is she so upset about? It's literally like, did she just send the other guy off and she's upset kind of thing? She feels bad.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that. It could be anything, man. I don't know. Like she could just be like, I'm like, this could be one of those like, I'm so happy I'm here, or like, I don't even know. I don't know. Man.
More important question isn't actually, I like this. Brian, the more important question isn't why is Michelle crying in the preview? It will be, why will we be crying next week watching? And the answer to that is it's going to be 3 hours long for a finale.
Yeah, just take me out now.
What are we going to do for 3 hours?
Dude, I don't know, because I don't think anything happened in this. It was literally like 3 days. They said the same fucking thing.
Do
in
you
different
think
voices.
there's any shot that Kevin gets his wish and we finally get a murder mystery on The Bachelor?
Unfortunately, no. I would love that.
I do think it's going to be a lot of her walking around staring. Oh, also, wait a second. I'm really glad I didn't skip this. I had this as literally the first headline of the episode. And I wish I had led with this because more people would have seen it. I'm about to make a damn clip out of this. Caitlin Bristow, mind your own goddamn business. Giving bad goddamn advice earlier date. She was talking about Nate and like they were talking about the guys. And she's like, Brendan's guy got no concerns about Brendan. I have no concerns about Joe. Oh, Nate, I'm trying to feel him out. She's like, be careful about your feelings with Nate. Same thing happened to me. And I was like, yo, beat it. You didn't even look the same when you were on it. You know what? It's just this is Reality Guys After Dark. At the end of the episode, mind your own damn business. All right. Like you don't even host. You never even host barely. Don't be giving out advice. You are not Chris Harrison. Sorry. You are not Mark Wahlberg. You're not even like Whitney Cummings, FYI. You're none of them. You're none of them. You're definitely not Jeff Probst. You're not TJ Lavin.
No.
You're not Alex
Don't
Trebek.
even say that her name in the same sentence as those people.
Overall, man, like I've enjoyed this season, but like I just don't need to do this at the end. Like, why are you squeezing out every last ounce of us watching? Because guess what? Me and Brian are gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it live. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna record after. Thanks. 3 days for Christmas.
No, terrible, dude. This episode, like even this episode, like it didn't need to be 2 hours. Like we could have done everything, I think, in this episode for 3.
This episode could have been a TikTok. Like,
I love her. I'm falling in love with you. I may be in love with you. Goodbye, Joe.
Like that's it. Like
maybe like 1 second of that dumb food fight that we haven't mentioned yet that really pissed me off.
Maybe like the robot narrator chick, like looking for a fun date to do on your fantasy suite. Try ziplining in the jungle.
Yeah. The worst, man.
Oh God.
How you like? I don't know. You're about to marry someone and like your date is a fucking zip line. It's crazy to me. Who
is gonna win next week?
I mean, at this point, I was hoping for Joe and Nate, so I wouldn't care who won. But this time, I really do not want Brandon to win. I don't, which makes me think he's gonna win because I've been last time I didn't want we didn't talk about what's his face, Katie's guy, because like I hated him, but like he showed me a video last week and
Blake,
I felt bad for the guy.
So yeah, the issue with Blake where he basically if he was like thinking out loud and broke down the timeline of her and John Hersey's relationship starting, and she did do that 12 days of exes based off of Taylor Swift. They announced her breakup like 30 days ago, and then she started the 12-day thing like a few days later. So that means like even if she started like a week or two later, I mean, she had to know, like he said, she had to know who day 12 was when she started it.
Right. So
yeah, we'll bring that up again. We'll bring that up next week or like on a future thing. We definitely want to get into some more of the notes and reviews. Thinking about doing some sort of end of the year reward show here for the Reality Guys and for some of the things we watched this year, and have a feeling Katie and Blake may end up on one of the negative ends of one of those awards. But please like and subscribe if you like anything Bachelor related. If you like any other fantasy television, including the Survivor franchise, which has its finale as we're recording tonight, which we will be checking out. Also, the Challenge franchise, which also has a finale tonight, season 37, Spies, Lies, and Allies. We're also covering the companion series, which is All Stars season 2 on Paramount Plus. There's going to be plenty of other things coming in the new year. There's a new Bachelor starting January 3rd. There is The Amazing Race starting in February. We also have Survivor 42 is going to be coming back in March. I'm sure March, April, we'll get another season of the Challenge. Hopefully some F-Boy Island news.
I'd like to get like one of those shows. Like
I need more F-Boy Island in our life, dude. That was so much fun. Actually, while I'm talking to you. But for myself, Brian, Kevin, peace.